You're listening to the Midwest's Most Dangerous Podcast, Lock Pod, Season 16, Episode 23. This is the season finale, coming to you live from the Nika IBW Power in Indiana Lake County Studios.
Woo.
Yes, it's your finale, the finale.
Yep.
No, it's not.
No,
It's not my finale.
We keep trying to push her off.
I
This is
know,
your last
you guys
show, isn't it?
You guys keep saying, like, this is going to be your
Is this
last show. I will come back
have
next
you thought
season.
about it?
That's
Have you
fine.
thought
Oh, we
about it?
need you back.
Oh, we discussed this. You were like,
We need the. We
need another season to find
Got
somebody
Lindsey
to
fired up
replace me.
1 minute into the show.
Hey, I don't have to show up here. I'm
We love
tired.
it.
I'd
We love
rather
you being
sleep.
here. We love you.
Whatever.
We love
We love
Lindsey
you being
Preggers, and
What's up?
she's. We're gonna get you next year, right?
Preggers.
Next season.
Yeah, it's like...
Next season's my last season, but then I'll be a mom.
Maybe.
And I don't want to be
Yeah.
here.
That's
I
not
don't believe
true.
that.
We're
You
gonna
love
set
it.
up childcare.
I don't know when you started loving
Steve
it.
Kellogg will be watching the baby.
Yeah.
I
while
don't know when
Lindsey's-
she started loving it, but she started loving it sometime.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
I
And
think we
but she has like that edge, like she pretends she doesn't,
Oh, I know.
but
I
she
know.
really does.
no,
totally
I have
agree.
an edge because I work night shift, and this is cutting into my sleeping.
I
You know what, though?
and
Today
yet
you
you still
seem-
make it. That's great.
You seem so perky today, though.
I slept last night.
Nice.
Ah.
You didn't work?
I'm not wearing scrubs, so no.
Oh, okay.
I don't have time to go home and then come back.
I thought you meant you slept at work.
And you still graced
No.
us with your presence. See?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
guys are
Because
lucky.
she loves it.
Do we have a due date yet?
Yeah, it's May 1st.
May 1.
May
May
Day.
Day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're very, very rushing.
Workers of the
May 1st to May
Workers of the
4th.
world unite.
May 1st to May 4th. May 4th is Star Wars Day.
Oh, are you pushing for the 4th?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to hold off. You got to push.
I know, I'm
You
just
can't be
holding.
pushing.
I
You got to
shouldn't
hold
say
off.
that, not
You gotta
pushing
hold
for the
off.
4th.
Holding off till the 4th. And then just take some natural remedies. Crank that
Natural
sucker out.
remedies.
I don't know. Talk to ChatGPT.
We're going to get into
I
that.
refuse to use ChatGPT.
Oh, this is gonna be
I've
so
never
fun.
used
You're
gonna
it
love
in
the
my
second
life.
The
segment.
second segment is going to be so good.
And it's great because we have Lindsey in the studio.
Yes, I
So
agree.
You know,
it's a
I was
health
just
related
reading
segment.
over that actually, and there's one thing they failed
Don't
to
be-
mention.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Don't
Just
give it away.
just be
Yeah.
a teaser, Linz.
Sure.
All right.
There's
And
one
then-
thing they failed to mention that I think really
Then
is
people
important.
don't even know what you're talking about right now.
I know.
'cause- Okay.
We'll get there.
Welcome to the studio, Chris Campbell, back for the season finale. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. We
What an
appreciate you
appearance
being
at the end. Like just a by the way,
That's what I do. I show
That's
up
the
at
best
the end.
episode of the season.
you did a great job in the middle of the season and now at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to start the next one.
I don't know when. I don't know. I don't know when
beginning.
Chris started to love it. Yeah, John's
Chris has
just
not
gonna
started
slowly-
loving it yet.
Yeah, it's still the burden phase.
Yes,
I
unlike
don't know
Lindsey.
when, I don't know when you start loving it, but it comes eventually.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the season today.
Yeah, so to remind everybody, we usually do about 23, 24 episodes a season. We've mapped it out. We actually got this thing down to a science. We do our breaks same time every year. We go twice a week for 23 or 24 episodes, and then when we hit that magic number, we take breaks. And the 3 breaks a year is during the holidays, which is this one. We do one right around Easter, and then the next one is a long one during the
Summer
summer.
break.
Right, so this is our winter break, so we're pretty excited. And, you know, we all have full-time jobs in here, you know, so Lockpod is our side gig, and it's not easy to put on a show, 2 shows a week, pre-show, do the show, you know, do all the production.
Coordinate the guests.
Yeah,
get the production.
and still stay fresh for your real job.
We try.
We don't get paid on this one.
And I was looking back just in the season, I was like, oh, I wonder what we were talking about. And the interesting part about this season was it seemed to be really dominated by issues that didn't go away. Like I was looking, we were talking about ICE.
Yeah,
We were talking about redistricting.
yeah.
Even in
But that-
season 16, episode 1. So
Well,
it's like it carried through. Like
good job.
yeah, I was just
Reflecting.
doing a little. Yeah, I was. I had a tear in my eye. I was reflecting a little bit.
It was a good season.
It was definitely news filled. I mean, there
Yeah.
wasn't a lack of things to talk about.
I think we're getting better too, being honest. Like Kevin and I, honestly, Chris, Linz, Kevin and I knock out a pre-show now. We do this every show. It's an hour, hour and a half.
It's just the boys hanging out at a bar.
But listen, it's not even.
They go twice a week.
Dude, it's a.
They hold hands.
When we come in here, we do it the best. When
Watch
we come
some
into the
football.
studio, like this is where we typically do it. I'll
Yes.
just meet Kevin in his office. We come in here. We could do that in 45 minutes to an hour. But if we go to a restaurant, which is we're at Danny Z's a lot lately. Although they're not sponsors to the show, we should probably
Nice,
talk
fun
to Steve
place,
about
though.
that.
Some nameless restaurant.
Yeah,
Yes.
some nameless Z, you know. But we go there, and we could do it there in like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, we do, I think we
'Cause you
we
get
know how to crank it out.
interrupted
There's
with,
a lot of like, I mean, we talk a little bit, but a lot of it's just us typing away and talking through ideas and
And
stuff.
sometimes
so.
the show comes to us really easily.
Yep, and sometimes
God, dude, sometimes we're like, what the hell
it's
are we
a
going to
little
talk about
more of
tonight?
a struggle
Because
bus.
it's 3 segments, and the way we lay out our show is the first segment's like knickknacks, basically. It's just
like this.
Yeah, quick little subjects. Funny. We try to be funny in the first segment. In the second and third, we dig more. Third is more national issues.
Try.
But second, like this today, we're going to do a segment with AI in the second segment.
It's going to be interesting.
It is.
So
I
stick
think it's
around for
really
that.
cool. Like, because I was messing around with AI and ChatGPT, and I was using it with my Oura Ring and my Apple Watch, and I'm feeding results from that into ChatGPT, and it's telling me things to do.
Tom, this is a pretty
Why
deep
don't you
dive.
just go see a doctor?
Well, that's
No, I'm going to bounce this off my doctor after I grow a third testicle because I'm taking things that I wasn't supposed to take.
my
But
God.
I'm like, I have 3 testicles. I don't know what I did.
And then-
ChatGPT.
We're going to hear all about in the second segment. And then third segment, we're going to talk about some news lately, just some national news that's been happening that's crazy, including the recent dismissal of the Comey and Letitia James indictments, Marjorie Taylor-Greene news, and all kinds of exciting other stuff like the mayor of New York going to
White House.
the communist mayor of New York going to the fascist president of the United States,
Yeah.
and we'll see how they got along.
You
Nice.
know what? Actually, I had something I wanted to bring up to you guys.
What's up? This is
Did
the
you
segment.
see? Yeah. Did you see that? They reclassified some advanced degrees as no longer being professional.
I was wondering how that affected you.
and that affects.
I did not hear this.
Nursing.
Yeah. It was Governor Braun that did that, wasn't it? Or
No,
was
this
it nationally?
is nationally.
Oh, yeah?
This is the Department of Education when they dismantled
okay.
and they outsourced to other departments, and
Uh-huh.
they're basically doing nothing now. I guess in the classification of advanced degrees, we're talking masters, doctorates, things like that. They have declassified certain advanced degrees as non-professional, meaning they get a cap or limit on how many loans they can take out to go to.
Oh, interesting. I was wondering what the effect of that was.
Yeah, so the main effect is that I think it's capped now at $100,000. And I don't know if you're doing something local, that might be doable. But for some people who are getting doctors in nursing practice,
Yeah.
masters in audiology, PT, OT, things like that, they're mostly like medical field, like advanced degrees.
Yeah,
If
why
that
would we
cap-
want those people?
Yeah, that cap is
educated.
going to prevent people from getting their doctorates, which we desperately need.
I know. In the healthcare field, especially.
There are some states and some cities, some healthcare systems that require nurses to get their masters within a certain amount of time, and now they're not going to be able to do that.
So what would be the purpose of the federal government doing that? Like they
Well,
just
I mean,
want to
first off-
save money or something?
But like
And-
the Department of Education is like outsourcing right now. It's not
Correct.
going to be around 3 years from now, right?
Well, I mean, it takes an act of Congress, but yeah, they've decimated
Okay, so
it.
it's
right.
going to have 0 employees.
Correct, I
right.
agree. Yeah,
They've basically taken a
shell.
lot of their requirements. So like, let's say when it comes to special education, they've outsourced it to another department. So the
Right.
Department of Education is no longer in charge
Or
of
back
that.
to the states.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, think about it. Originally, education in America was run by the states. And over the course of our history, the Department of Education, once it was around, started taking more and more responsibility. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a fact, right?
Mhm.
I think it's good to have a federal department to like establish a baseline requirement for all states to uphold.
Agree.
Because there's some states, like I'm going to say Indiana, that they don't want to fulfill a certain baseline. They think their baseline should be a bit lower than
I
it
always
is
say
in other
Mississippi.
states.
You can say Mississippi. Because
I'm
then you
gonna
don't
say
piss off.
Indiana,
Because
'cause
we
I
don't have a
used to
huge
teach here.
we don't have a huge Mississippi-based audience.
No,
you know?
not you. I haven't heard that.
So I always piss off Mississippi.
Let's
I
go
figure
with
the only time I
Mississippi.
can suffer is if I run for president.
yeah,
And then I'll probably
And
lose Mississippi.
Were you going to
anyway.
plan on winning Mississippi
No,
anyway?
dude, Mississippi
All
always
right.
goes red.
Yeah.
So fuck Mississippi. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh. There we go again.
What I'm
Making
saying
friends.
is that if I want to go and get
I'm just
my
kidding,
master's,
Mississippi. M-I, Kirk letter, I, Kirk letter, I, double P, I. Love you. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's
But I don't
interesting.
ever bust on Hoosiers. I bust on Mississippi, though, Lindsey.
I'm not busting on Hoosiers. I'm busting on
The DOE or the pretend
IDOE here.
DOE?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Because I used to teach here. I have personal experience.
Agreed.
So I'm
Lindsay started her career as a teacher, and then she realized the state doesn't really take care of its teachers, and
Nope.
which is a common problem. You know, Lindsay's a typical example of a common problem in education. She came out of college with an education degree,
Bright-eyed and
seeking-
bushy-tailed.
Yeah, and then just got demoralized.
within
now
6 years.
And then she's a nurse, and she's
Also
doubled or tripled her pay.
demoralized.
It's like, yeah, I mean,
But richer.
this is a common course though for a lot of teachers, right, Linz?
Yeah,
exactly
but
what
like
you did.
here I am. I mean, if I want to make more money, I have to go back to school for an advanced degree. I need a master's. I need a doctorate or something.
Nurse practitioner, right?
I have a cap on nurse practitioner licensing and schooling, master's, CCRN.
What do you mean? That's something you could do. Bless
Cap on loans, you mean?
There are so many options, especially for nurses, to get advanced practice degrees and make more money, but they're expensive.
you. Yeah.
they're very expensive. They're multiple years. And so this cap is, in some states like California, where it's real expensive to go to school, this cap is going to really screw over a lot of people. They're not going to go into advanced degrees. We're going to see a significant decrease in
get
doctorates.
In there beforehand, babe. Like I went out, Marissa and I had dinner.
I'm pretty sure this is going to kick in like January 1st. It doesn't
Marissa
matter.
and I had dinner with a nurse practitioner and her husband about a month ago. And first off, great couple. Secondly, the nurse practitioner, I imagine, is doing what a doctor does, pretty close to.
Yeah, I mean, I think they
salary-wise.
filled in a huge gap where we all know that we're lacking the number of doctors, right, in America.
Right.
And so nurse practitioners fill that void in significantly, also like physicians assistants, PAs. And
they're included on the list too.
I assume that. So I think the question is like, to me, it seems like this administration is like devaluing education, devaluing people going to, liberal arts, even like this, professional degrees.
Well,
I mean, because it dumbs down America.
I
Of
also
course.
would like to
Yes,
point
that
out
helps.
that most of these that were demoted or like marked as non-professional or no longer professional degrees are mostly women-led fields.
Yeah, that's
nursing,
interesting.
audiologists,
You mean-
PT, OT, physician assistants, nurse
Commander-in-Chief doesn't
practitioners.
value women? I mean,
Oh, he doesn't want us at working, that's for damn sure.
Pregnant and
so-
barefoot, Lynn.
Yeah, well,
You're halfway there.
I've got shoes on.
I see him. She's wearing them.
she is. Yeah.
I read somewhere that and someone was just making a point that this makes it harder for lower income people to get
Yeah.
into this field.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
without a
so
doubt.
You're only going to have rich doctors.
That's a really good
becoming
point, Chris.
doctors.
Because think about
interesting.
it, because wealthy people will be able to, they don't need to take the loans out. Whereas people that maybe come from more limited means,
If you're going to be a
need
doctor,
loans.
you're on a track too. And like usually if you're like going to the right schools and going to the right college and you're on a track to being a doctor is incredibly hard, right?
Well,
so
and
like,
it's already difficult because, I mean, we've already had a lot of people who want to go to med school but can't afford it right off the
Right.
gate now. So they choose to go into other fields, nursing.
Right.
but Lynn, like
and
when
stuff
you
like
went to
that.
nursing, Lindsey went to Purdue Northwest, which got a great nursing program, and you didn't do it. It wasn't very expensive to go to nursing school for you,
I took
right?
out loans and it was about $38,000 for the 4 years.
That's incredible, though.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
that's
But not
a local
everybody can do
school,
that.
But not
No, I
everybody
agree.
has that.
But like Purdue Northwest, we're lucky we have it right
We are
here.
lucky.
But we're
It's
talking about people in rural areas
Right,
who already
right.
have no health care.
well, they're going to have
period.
to, you have to travel for your education. I mean, if you live in a rural area and you want to be successful, you could travel for your education and go back home.
yeah, I mean,
but then they usually can't afford.
I was going to say,
those loans and
even
stuff.
travel for people with limited means is difficult. So I think it's definitely
I
an
know,
interesting
man.
point.
But like, America's always had problems. I mean, we always will have problems too. I mean, the thing, it's funny. As mayor, I get asked questions often about like the poorest people in our city, and God bless them. And of course, I'm sympathetic, right? But I can't run a city based on the ultra poor in the city and how it'll affect them. I can't run a city that way, and I don't think you can run a country that way either. It's like you have to think about the masses and how this affects the masses. And of course, unfortunately, there's going to be people that are extremely negatively affected.
Yeah, I think there's always programs that can help people of limited means and people that are on the poorer end of this economic scale, right? The question is like, does it have enough of an impact to impact like this? If this decision about declassifying and capping loans, does that have a pronounced effect enough where it impacts so many people that it becomes a big problem?
We're already in a nursing shortage. And by nursing shortage, we're churning out nurses at a pretty, I would say, sustainable rate, but they're only lasting a year, maybe 2 years.
Really?
This affects education too. Teachers
What do you mean,
getting
they get burned
advanced
out?
degrees. Yeah, they get burnt out within 2 years. They leave the field entirely.
Really?
Because the amount of work, the lack of staffing, the lack of...
See, it's to me, Lindsay, I picture that, especially if you're in like an ER, right? And you're working like ridiculous hours. But I think you were smart about how you went in because I don't think you really have that. Do you have that same stress, do you feel, in your current situation?
No, I
Lindsay
chose-
works at a stroke and rehab facility.
It doesn't matter about if I'm stressed out or not. We're saying the majority of nurses are stressed out. So yeah, I chose an easier field because this is my second career and I wanted to have kids. And that's what I chose for
I think
myself
you got a
because it
great job.
works.
And
That's-
you
thank you,
enjoy.
Dad. But there are people people have to work emergency room. People have to
Yeah.
work med surg. People have to work ICU. People have to work surgery. They can't all come to rehab
Right.
and have a cushy job.
And
So
those
we
areas
need to
have to
support
be-
you don't have a
these
cushy
nurses.
job. You work all night. God dang, you come in here dragging butt because you've been up all
Well,
night.
there's
That's not an easy job.
Everybody has to work hourly. They have to work hourly. They have to work night shift. They have to work holidays. Nursing is hard, And I feel like 5 years ago we were essential workers, heroes, and now this time we're unprofessional. We're being
where
demoted.
it's coming from, though, babe.
It's
where
because they don't value female-led
When you say they, you're talking about it's coming
organizations.
from the top, hun. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's not
it's
like
frustrating.
America respects you, and we're going to get rid of this guy in 3 years. And
No,
things will
I
get
think
back to
that's
normal.
BS. America does not respect nurses.
Well,
That's
maybe
not true at
MAGA
all.
doesn't. Maybe
We
MAGA.
do here at Lockpod.
I
Thank
do.
you.
Yes.
But I would say overall,
In fact,
a lot of...
when I'm unable to take care of myself, I've already designated you as my person. So.
And I never agreed to that. So.
It's going to be an interesting time. We'll report on that here at Lockpod.
Lockpod season 429, episode
You hope
3.
so.
Yeah.
We always talk about this, and maybe Tom, you can go into this about like how much. I know that like we talk about how great the season is and everything like that, but we wouldn't be able to do it without our sponsors.
Yeah, our sponsors. Some of them have been with us every single season, and that's. I think we get a good bang for their buck too, because we mention them and we talk about the products they offer, and of course we're always looking for more sponsors.
And we personally go to our sponsors,
absolutely
and use them.
I try to use all of them.
Yeah,
and I make it a point to like talk to them when I'm in there. But I just want to say thanks to our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you, and we do our best to promote your businesses and stay with us.
Yeah,
we're going to be back for season 17 right after the holidays, so we'll be back usually right around January 3rd, 4th in that ballpark.
If you're interested in sponsoring and have any, you can either email Steve at lockpod.com or bigballs with a Z at lockpod.com. Both go to Steve Kellogg.
That's a working email.
Both go to Steve Kellogg, and he'd be happy to go over any sponsorship opportunities.
Of course, we're going to go through our sponsors one last time today.
Oh, yeah.
But some of them, like I said, have been with us every single season. We love them very much. But like I said, so when we go off today, you could still stream any of our episodes. I think there's 400 or 500 episodes now. You could go back all the way to the beginning. But like we have all of our seasons available, even the bad ones.
So please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We used to have Stitcher till that was canceled.
I don't
And
even know what Stitcher is.
Steve's working on an Amazon and SiriusXM.
Nice.
So that's good.
Sirius XM?
Well, Stitcher got folded into Sirius, so that's why
Get
we.
that would
So
be,
we're working on it.
we'd be like, hey, I wanted to, last show, I don't know what the hell was going on with me, by the way.
Oh,
I do, and a rare apology. I don't know, like, I wasn't on my A game, and I'll be honest, it's not too often I walk out of Lockpod Studio, I feel like crap because I feel like I had a bad show, but I did feel like I had a bad show last time.
well,
And
I
it
think
happens.
our guests were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the first half of the show.
Ah.
And then I felt especially bad because the second half went so well, and I'm like, these women, their spouses were listening.
They deserve more. They deserve better.
They did. I did a shitty job, and I apologize.
You were fired up.
I was fired up.
Fired up. There were a lot of F-bombs rolling.
Fired up, pissed off. I didn't even expect that. I was obviously very pissed. I was
agree.
obviously
That came
very
out of
pissed.
nowhere.
I didn't.
It's
what
not
were we
part of the
talking about?
plan.
It's like,
We were talking about the open sportsplex.
Oh, yeah.
A great story.
by the way, so like, I'm talking generally about a councilman I'm upset with, right?
Yes, councilperson.
Yeah, and then I was nice enough not to say that person's name.
Yes.
Okay. But what happened is I ended up pissing off all of them. Because they're like, were you talking about me? I wasn't there. And I'm like, no, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about this one, right? So I'm so stupid. Like, not only was the person I was talking about upset, and I called and apologized, by the way, and we're good, okay? But, like, I pissed off multiple council people on that show because at least if you're going to be mad, point your gun at them. Don't point your gun at all of them, right? So
I was doing my best to steer you back, and
I know
it
you
wasn't
were.
working. I was like, this is a great, $10 million ribbon cutting of a
Yeah.
nice sportsplex
And I'm
in our
all pissy
city.
about one guy that didn't show up. Yeah. But, I don't know what was going on, honestly. So I get home after the show, and Marissa's like, honey, are you hungry? And I'm like, I hate it when she asks me that because she's usually
knows-
right.
yes.
It's
And
like
I'm
a
like,
Snickers commercial where
Yeah.
it's like you're always pissy when you're hungry.
I
Here's
am
a
really bad
Snickers.
when I get hangry. And she's like, are you hungry, honey? And I'm like, yes, I am hungry. I haven't eaten in like 18 hours. She's like, you should probably eat, and then, feel better. And then I ate. And then I was like, God dang it, I got to call this council person. And I waited a couple hours, and I was just like, I'm really sorry. Like, I go, people have bad days. I'm having a bad day. And the thing I felt horrible about, honestly, is the second half. I was so looking forward to doing the second half of that show.
They did a great job.
I know
I
they
got
did, but
so
I just
many
felt like-
compliments
I know,
about that
man.
show.
I just felt like I ruined the freaking show in the first half. And
like
it's
any of their friends that were listening,
Yes,
were like,
dude.
man, I don't
It's
know if I'm
like-
going to listen to this. Are you sure you want to go
I know
on?
the kids are in the car and all that. It's like, oh. So I was embarrassed. I felt like I ruined that show, and I
Season-
apologize.
If
to
you
the
if you
ladies.
didn't catch it, you can still listen.
Skip
It's
the
season
first
16.
section. Yeah, skip the first
season
section.
16, episode 22.
Go straight to the women, and that's a great show. So,
Social
but
media influencers.
It gave him some street cred.
Yeah,
right?
good
Up
point,
like a
Chris.
thug
Yeah.
like this, you know?
she goes back in the community hospital. You know, doctor's like, "Hey, I went on Lockpot and survived."
You survived.
Dude, when the ladies came in the studio, they were like looking at me like, "Holy crap, are you going
Who
to
is
go
this
off on
guy?
me?" I know. The locomotive.
Is he going to ruin our social media career?
Yeah, they all lost.
They lost thousands of listeners.
But they were great. I thought it was a great
They
show.
were really good.
You know
Really
what's
good.
funny, dude? Okay, so last week, Heaven, this is
Speaking
hilarious.
of social media,
Yes. So there was Chris, I did a op-ed. I know you helped me. You put it on Go Hammond, but I did an op-ed on data centers. Okay, and the Times ran it. So I posted mine, and then my comments are usually from friends, so they're pretty tame usually on my Facebook, right? But I cruise over to the Times Facebook because I was like, this is a lot more unregulated. You know, if there's a lot of people that don't like me that'll post on that, but they can't post on mine. So I go to theirs, and I was getting tore up. Okay, and I'm like, and I sort of like chuckle, and I'm reading through it. Maybe that's why I was so pissy.
there's like one particular guy especially.
Yeah, he was going off on me.
Yes.
Talking about we need to find a candidate. This guy's going down in the next election. Find a candidate to run against the Mayor Hammond. And I'm like, okay.
What's going on?
I'm like, shit, that sucks. But like, this guy's out there looking for a candidate for me, right? And then I posted it. And I'm like, this guy is like off his rocker. He's trying to get me beat. And then there was a lot of comments on it. And then some people start doing research into the guy that was bitching about me. And this is so funny.
This is
The
awesome.
guy lived in Hammond, Louisiana. And honestly, he thought I was the mayor of Hammond, Louisiana.
He's like, this
and he's
guy.
out there scouring Hammond, Louisiana to find a candidate to run against me.
He's got
So-
his thumb on the pulse of the election there.
So the question is, do you need to like send an apology letter to the mayor of Hammond, Louisiana, or not? Because apparently, like,
That's funny.
this poor guy,
Hey, Mayor,
he didn't do
son.
anything.
Dude,
He has no opinion about data
that's so
centers.
funny. Hammond, Louisiana, we get that a lot. We
Yep.
get, in fact, we have Hammond IN, you know, for some of our,
Mhm.
do you get that
Hammond,
problem?
Indiana police.
You know, when I was doing summer hours at your office, we'd get some people from Louisiana calling in because
Yeah.
they Googled the wrong number.
Yeah. That's college bound free service. Lindsay wasn't working for me.
No.
No, I was
Right.
Volunteer
doing
hours.
Every
hours.
college-bound student has to do 40 hours community service in the city. So that's what she was talking about. Wanted to make it clear.
You weren't
I don't have nepotism going on.
Nope.
So.
I don't
Do you-
want to work for him.
work for free. Yeah, not by
We work
choice, Linz.
together, Linz. Chris, do you have that problem ever in your role with the city, with Hammond, Louisiana?
Yeah, they're constantly confused. People are
Wow.
calling and sending in stuff all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
To go Hammond?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because you just do a search for Hammond and you think it's
Yep.
going to be the one, but
Yep.
we have a bigger presence online.
I wonder if that
Yeah,
happens on the
we're a bigger
311
city.
app. I need this pothole fixed in my. And it's like
Yeah.
I can't find my
To the
the
street.
French
street
Quarter?
doesn't exist in our city.
Is that on the French Quarter?
Well, that's actually really hilarious. And this poor guy down in Hammond, Louisiana, is still looking for a guy to run against you, or against the mayor of Hammond in Louisiana, which is bad for that guy
My
or
bad.
woman.
Don't
But,
you kind of wonder why he's so like angry at?
It was data centers.
Is
Like
there a
you guys-
data center going down there?
No,
No. It's going in
That's what I'm
Indiana.
saying.
That's the
There's no
thing.
data center issue in Louisiana.
Yeah, is
right
there
now.
a Hobart, Louisiana? Like, I don't know about, because that's what we were talking about is what's going on in Hobart.
This guy's so confused. I got to find somebody to run against him. There's no Hobart down here.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even know the area.
He doesn't even know what town he's representing.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, last week I went on WBEZ in Chicago.
I heard that article, by the way.
Did you?
Or what is it called? A story, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it was
listen to it? I
really
didn't
good. I
listen
listened to it. It's like 20-some minutes long. We can actually, I'll have John post it or Chris post it. But it was a round table with the mayor of Evanston.
Yeah.
You.
Daniel Bliss.
Okay,
He's
you
running for Congress.
and the president of the Cook County Board of Commissioners,
Tony Preckwinkle.
Tony Preckwinkle. Yeah,
And she's the chairman of the Cook County Democrats, has been since 2018.
Did not
this
know
is
that.
A powerful woman. I've
she
met her.
clapped for you. I thought that was one
She
of my
called me
favorite parts
Governor
of
McDermott.
one of my
I
favorite
don't think,
parts
I
of
think
the.
I was on accident, or either that or she's insinuating. But her and I got along really well. So I get to the studio because
It's about ice. Right?
Yeah, it was about ice-free zones. It's about the actions we took in Hammond. Commissioner Preckwinkle took the same actions in Chicago, as did Mayor Bliss in Evanston. But we all got onto the show together, and I pointed out, yeah, it's great. You know, we all took the same actions, except for I live in Indiana, and I got a hostile state government that's, you know, looking at me cross-eyed right now, and they got J.B. Pritzker, who totally supports what they're doing. So, It was a great show, but I got in the studio like a half hour before I went live, and Tony Preckwinkle and I were the only ones in the studio.
Oh, that's awesome.
I sat there and talked to her, and I was
real smart woman.
I was on my freaking charm offensive. I was like, oh my God.
Maybe
So
she'll come on Lockpod.
I think we have a shot.
Wow, that'd be cool.
She is incredible, man. And she has like security wandering around with her too, and they were like eyeballing me when I went in. I'm like, dude, I'm a mayor. Like, I'm, and then I went in, and I have to say, man, I was completely impressed by her. She was smart as a whip, man. And we were talking politics. We were talking policy.
I think she ran for mayor.
She did run for
mayor.
when
Lori Lightfoot
and her
ran,
and I have.
think.
She's talking about when she ran, like wistfully, sort of, sort of like how I talk when I ran for Congress. But she's like, yeah, well, that didn't go too well. And I say the same kind of stuff about the offices I've run for. But
and both of you guys landed pretty well.
Yeah, I think
that'd be great to have her on. And by the way,
we got to make contact soon before she forgets about who I am.
Right.
But like, we should honestly like try to get her like episode 2 next season.
Be great.
Totally. And like light it up right now. I did a good job, dude. I was like Mr. Charming when I was talking to her. I was Mr. Charming. I could tell she was looking at me like, who is this dude? Like, I could tell because like I went in there just like Mr. Charm.
And it was good, by the way. It was a really good story. So I'm going to try to make sure we post
being
that
on PBS.
On the maybe somebody can
like
find
just
that.
the whole tone of the show. It's like, we're introducing Mayor Tom McDermott. Tom is the mayor of Hammond, Indiana.
I love that about
it's
BEZ.
Just like, I know,
Any
dude,
NPR
it's
station.
And I'm in there like, certainly
It's like
not
the
going to
Saturday
drop an
Night
F-bomb.
skit.
I know. How you doing, Mr. Mayor? Could you tell me about how you did?
How did that impact in Hammond? I
love it.
It's so funny.
Yeah, but so I get
vibe.
in there, and they come to me first. And that was like very awkward. So like I didn't know what the temperature was going to be in the room, right? So she's like, Mayor, tell me about what you did. And my first answer I thought was weak as hell.
It's so funny. I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
and then you came back.
know.
Right, because they asked you
Your
first.
answer was
Yeah.
weak as hell, bro.
It was weak
They
as
asked
hell.
you first, and then by the time, and I was like, man, that's not a really typical
Dude,
Tom
because
answer.
I didn't know. Like, don't come to me. Go to Tony
And then when they
Preckwinkle
came
first, right?
back,
I don't like it when they go to. It was in order
it's
of rank.
so funny you said that because I thought the same thing.
Because like Daniel Bliss and I've been around longer. I
Sure.
get myself. I'm higher on the food chain. No offense to the mayor. And by the way, he's running for Congress, right? So like he's got great things going. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, right? But Tony Preckwinkle is clearly the top elected official in that room. Okay, so like I don't expect to speak first. So,
you didn't want to set the tone a certain way.
And I believe her name was Sasha. She's great.
Yeah.
But when she came to me first, I was like, and then I like did a crappy answer, and then they went to Tony, and she killed it, and then Daniel was freaking killing it, and I'm like, God, I sound like a freaking moron in here. It's like a big opportunity for me, right?
The fact that you thought that is interesting because I was thinking to myself that Tom's got to pick it up.
I did,
and you did.
I did.
By the way,
Yeah,
I'm gonna find
because I got
this.
the temperature, and I'm like, holy crap, I am woefully behind in this race. These guys are kicking my ass. So I felt like, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, they're never gonna ask me to come back on this show because I did such a bad job on the first one, so I had to like bring it on. And I did.
All right, I found it. I'm going to put it in our chat.
Okay.
All right, I'll put the link in.
So that was cool.
It was really cool. All right, let's
Navy
do some
Pier.
ads.
Navy Pier.
Oh,
Like,
that's
it
where
was
NPR moved to, right? Or
Yeah.
that's where they are.
Like the best studio I've ever seen. Like outside of Lockpod.
Oh, I was
Very
gonna
cool.
say,
Even though they've been
outside of like,
even though they've been defunded by the
Dude,
man in Washington.
they didn't look like they were defunded. There was like 20 people, and I walked in, and there was a lot of Indiana people there.
That's
they were all
great.
coming up and talking to me. It
Oh,
was
that's great.
really pleasant experience. I saw Michael Puente. It was I'm a big
He's
fan of
always
his.
been a Northwest Indiana reporter.
Yeah, he's great. So it was a really cool experience. So I want to say thanks to everybody, and I think that we should definitely make a push to get Tony Preckwinkle in early January, like soon. And I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right, I just put
Lockpod.
by the way, I just put the link for that story on NPR where Mayor Tom appears with Tony Preckwinkle
Cool.
and Mayor Bliss. It's in chat. if you
My
wanna
first
see it.
answer is weak as hell, but I pick it up. So
Yes, you
just
even
keep that
get
in
you even
mind.
get applauded by.
I did get
Commissioner
applauded.
Preckwinkle by the president
I did get applauded.
of the commissioners.
Both of them were applauded. But
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There you go.
So
See, you
I
picked
did pick it up. I did. But if it was a race, I would have like stumbled out of the gate, and then I like started running really fast. I totally stumbled out of the gate.
All right.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right,
So
let's do
this
some
next
ads.
segment we're gonna do, I think this is a cool thing for people to hear about. Okay. And I mean, I got a nurse in the studio, which is awesome. But I'm gonna talk about this whole. I have Oura Ring, an Apple Watch, and it gives you results every day. And then I was using ChatGPT to analyze my results, and it gave me recommendations. And I think it's a cool story. So we'll come back and talk about that. And then in the third segment, we'll talk about some national issues, and then we're going to regretfully walk away from you for the holidays, and we'll be back in January. Regretfully.
I'm going to enjoy my time away.
I will too, Linz. I will too, but we will regretfully. I do miss the show. And the crazy thing is when stuff happens when we're gone, and you're like, oh, that would have been so perfect on Lock
Save
Pod.
it for the show.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and start with Powering Indiana Lake County, our premier studio sponsor. Been with us every season. Just a great organization that's supported Lock Pod from the get. So Powering Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Powering Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Powering Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outdoor patio, serving its award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their new food truck, they can cater your corporate and private events off-site. Just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Ku Klux Law. Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Look no further than Ku Klux Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Ku Klux Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Ku Klux Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Ku Klux Law. No matter what your legal issue, call 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who you going to call? Ku Klux. Hablamos Español.
The branding room floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and nameless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning full-service marketing agency, The Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, The Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who's in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Thanks to our sponsors.
Including our studio sponsor, Powering Indiana Lake County, and all of our sponsors. Visit them.
Okay. So, I have a lot of...
technology.
Yeah, technology that measures things that you don't necessarily understand.
You like
tools.
Yeah.
You're one of the first people that I know that really leaned into health technology. Like you were like, I love my Apple Watch when they first came out.
Peloton.
And then you were like, I love Peloton, or I don't know. You were always, and then you have an Oura ring. Like you got an Oura ring early on.
Yeah,
and you were pumping it.
This is like my fourth Oura ring.
It was even back in the old studio you had one, so that's like 3+ years ago.
So like an Oura ring is more for measuring your sleep. That's what I initially got it for, is how well do I sleep, because I didn't think I slept well. And then it helps you, like it coaches you on your sleep, like gets you better, points out things. Yeah, no, but it's just like it gives you grades every day.
White noise.
It's just, I'm a competitive person, so like if I'm getting graded, I want to do better, right? So that helps me, and I think I'm a great sleeper now, right? And then my Apple Watch also helps, and they both track workouts and how well you're working out, and they grade you on each of these things.
Kind of like, even like you've said before, like when you're not feeling good, it tells you.
Dude, it knows before you get sick.
Because it measures your heart rate, it measures your pulse ox,
hey,
things
babe,
like that.
What is HRV, heart rate variation? What is, because that's one of the primary things this technology relies on.
Okay, so heart rate variation, and you're putting me on the spot here. I haven't done any research.
Lindsey's medical minute.
It's okay.
So I'm guessing, if I had to guess, and I'll do a little search while we're talking and I can confirm, is that it's the ability for your heart to adapt from, activity where it's higher to sleeping where it's lower, and how the variation between that, if it's responding to what your body needs. And
they use this to predict how well you're doing, like physically. Like if my heart rate variation drops suddenly, it's
quantified somehow. There's a measurement.
Yeah, there's a measurement. And my norm is 2.86 to 3.41. And that's over the course of like...
Is this up, Chris?
So I'm actually completely wrong. So I just Googled it, and heart rate variability is the measurement of time intervals between consecutive heartbeats.
Okay.
indicating how much time fluctuates. So actually, I was kind of right.
So if
when
it's
you're sleeping,
lower,
your heart rate is lower, so there's a wider time period between heartbeats. But when you're active, there's a shorter amount. And so if your body is responding to activity, you should have a shorter heart rate.
Okay, let's talk about
variability.
sickness then. So like, because they say if your HRV drops, that means it drops. That means the heart is beating faster, right?
Yes.
They
and
could
it's
predict
beating faster for longer periods of time despite activity level.
So they could predict by looking at your heart rate variation. If it suddenly drops, you're probably going to get sick tomorrow. And it tells you, it's like, hey,
Yeah,
you got
'cause-
major warning signs of incoming sickness right now.
So your body, when your body is sick, if it's fighting an infection,
Your heart
it's
beats
trying to
faster.
get your blood that has your immune system to the parts that are infected.
So-
So it's going to be beating faster.
What's
Yes.
this chart we're looking at?
So
that
this
everyone's
is
looking
then this is like scores that I get off of my ring. Okay.
at? So how does this come to you? Like, are you able to
Every
just
morning
sign in and you're
every
out?
morning. No, well, it's an app on my phone. So every morning after I sleep, I open up the app and it downloads your sleep data into the app, right? And it grades you. And then I've been doing this for years. Okay. So it knows where my heart rate variation pattern is. And then it gives you like a range and you're falling in between the range and your goal is to stay between the dotted lines because that's where you normally
and when
are,
it's
right?
not, it's like, oh, something's up.
Right. So like I start getting flagged by basically all of the measuring devices I use is like one of them was, hey, you have stiff arteries. Your arteries, you're in great
It can
shape.
tell you that?
You're in great, yeah, because it's around my finger, right? It's like you're in great shape. Your engine, is, your heart is great. You do a great job sleeping. All these things are great except for your vascular, all right? And it's like you have arteries that are more aged than you actually are. And I've been watching this over the last year, and it's progressively getting worse.
And
I'm going
how-
the wrong way. I'm
And
getting
How is this? I'm kind of. I don't like. How are they measuring that?
through my ring.
Yeah,
Because it
so
has like
we're only-
lights.
we're-
It has like lights and it vibrates.
Well, no,
and
I
does all
understand
kinds
that,
of
but
stuff to me.
it's only measuring the arteries in your finger, like distal arteries.
I don't understand how it works, babe. I'm just
Okay.
telling you what it tells me, okay?
So
like,
are we still on the same first photo? Or are we moving?
I don't know how much people could see, so I'm just sort of using the photos to
Yep.
guide me through this journey.
So this
okay?
is like sleep.
Which one? Yeah, that's like sleep, and it's grading me on my sleep, telling me how deep I'm sleeping and all that. So I get serious about this over the weekend. Marissa was out of town, and I was like diving deep into this.
Dad
like,
was bored.
why is my vascular health going the wrong way? Because I feel like I'm in great shape. I work out like crazy. I sleep perfect.
It could be a genetic thing too.
It could be, right?
Yeah.
But it's a genetic thing going backwards. I would rather see it going one way, but it's going the other way,
Well,
and
but
it's moving.
that's the genetic aspect of it is that you have,
Well, it
less
doesn't make me
reactive
feel.
arteries.
I'm 56, babe.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see like it's saying my arteries are like the age of
the
a
scary-
65-year-old, it scares the shit out
Yeah,
of
the
me.
scary thing
What
of
if
that
it's-
is, go ahead,
I was
Chris.
gonna say, what if it's just that finger? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's analyzing your whole
How
body.
stiff
but-
is
Oh,
your
I know.
finger?
Yeah.
So that's interesting because, like, to me, yeah, I'm with you. Like, it would scare me in the sense that, like, God,
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, silent killers.
Exactly.
Or, like, what should I be?
Exactly.
Yeah, is this something I should be?
Dude,
now I have this knowledge of this. Should I be, like, trying to fix it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm 56. If
Or
I
is it
am,
serious
if
enough
I'm
to wanna
32,
fix?
if I'm young, I'm probably not as worried about it as I am now because I'm 56, and people my age drop dead.
Yeah, so-
I don't want to be that guy.
Well, when it comes to like arteries that are stiffer, what that usually means, at least in my field, is that you have higher blood pressure.
Thank you. I was
and
going
higher
exactly
blood
there.
pressure is a silent killer.
Baby.
Hypertension is like a
Exactly where I was
Yeah.
going. Then that's what. So I start downloading my data into ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Okay?
and I think
And-
this one, I mean, sometimes genetics don't mean like symptoms, but sometimes they do. So that's
I
worth
do have high
looking
blood.
into.
I do have high blood
well,
pressure.
and hypertension generally has no symptoms until it becomes a significant issue.
Interesting.
And by the way, babe,
Yeah.
I think that's part of my dad's health problems was linked to high blood pressure. In
Yeah,
my opinion,
easy.
My dad and I have very similar genetics. Okay, so I'm obviously worried about that because my dad, had bad health when he was my age. Well, younger than my age actually. So I start asking ChatGPT, why do I have stiff arteries according to you? And it points out you probably have high blood pressure. Okay. And so this is a whole evolution. ChatGPT and I going back and forth. I'm feeding it results from my blood test. I'm feeding it results from my ring, from my Apple Watch. And it's like giving me these amazing.
Well, I think it's interesting that you specifically asked it regarding HRV. How do I improve my HRV?
Yes.
Which is that one thing in your
Well,
watch or the watch or ring that said, "Hey, this is a signal to you."
This is what it keyed on. I'm in my range. Okay. So it looks like I'm clean, right? But it said, dude, it didn't say dude. It said your HRV is in the zone.
I wish it did.
That's
It said,
version 6.
I should get that version, but it said your HRV is in the zone, okay, which is fine. But for a person that in excellent health like yourself, and I feel like I'm in great shape, your HRV should be much higher than this. They're like, there's something going on with your HRV. It's too low. Even though it's in the range, you should be up there in the 90th percentile, right? So I'm like, okay, so what do you think is the problem? This is me and ChatGPT. ChatGPT comes back and says, I think that you should take magnesium glycinate. All right? And I'm
Lindsey?
like, what the fuck is magnesium glycinate? Okay.
It's
Why
just
is Lindsey
magnesium.
smiling?
Okay. So like
It's a
it's
supplement.
and it says this is the kind of thing that lowers cholesterol, which is a problem for me. It slows your heart rate. It activates your brain's calming system, basically, reduces stress hormones at night. And it, so basically it says this is the kind of thing that could really help you.
And it says for someone with HRV hovering around 3.0, this is one of the fastest ways to move toward 3.2-3.3. So it's a supplement. And Lindsey, have you heard of it?
Okay, so magnesium it's just magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral in your body that you get through most of your food. And it does help. It helps with a lot of enzyme reactions and things like that. I'm actually on magnesium myself.
Since being pregnant or just in general?
Since being pregnant, I have a restless leg syndrome is like a big thing that I've been getting with.
You take it at night?
I take it at night to
See?
help with my legs.
Calm you.
Because it works with potassium to like kind of calm your nervous system from connecting through your muscles. It just chills your muscles out. But also, there's a side effect, or one of the more common uses of magnesium is to help you poop.
Well, there you go.
Well,
So I just want
Tom?
to give you a warning.
How's that been going?
Oh, yeah?
If
No,
you're going to be
fine.
taking,
Everything's normal?
magnesium,
Uh-huh.
you may see an increase in bowel movements.
Okay.
This is
And then,
exciting. You heard it right here first.
Well, like,
Yeah.
okay, so this is me and ChatGPT still. Then this is this
Didn't-
is why
didn't tell him
ChatGPT
that.
is like this
It did
is
not.
why
I was looking through. It mentions nothing about. It relaxes your muscles. Your colon is a muscle,
Good point.
so you might trust a fart, and then it gets a little.
okay.
Oh, this
I
is
won't
so
trust any
exciting.
fart. Don't
At
trust
a-
a fart.
At a certain age,
That's
you're
the name
never
of the
supposed to-
episode.
You just got to be careful.
Good
It
job,
depends on
Linz.
how much you're taking because it happens a lot at work, and you have people who are on magnesium.
I don't fart
my
at work, so
patients.
it's good.
No, my patients, Dad. Not
Might
my-
start.
Well, so this is so ChatGPT is trying to convince me that magnesium was where I need to go. It says your metrics show you have a high VO2 max, which I'm very proud of that, which shows that I'm in great physical shape. Low HRV, it said low-ish,
Next one, Chris.
which is stress and sympathetic activation. We talked about that earlier. It says I have high vascular tension, which is what I was nervous about. And basically it says magnesium glycinate hits every one of these problems. It increases your HRV. It lowers your stress, improves your sleep, relaxes blood vessels, lowers PWV, improves cardiovascular age, and it also apparently loosens the muscles of your colon.
So, Tom, let me ask you this question. So, and this is a pretty intense ChatGPT answer.
I went
So, let
back
me
and forth
ask
with
you,
this.
did this come just because of one question or several? As you
No,
kinda
I
kept
went.
going?
I was like, I took a class in AI, and it shows you how you challenge it. And you like, I've been working with my AI a lot. I feel like my ChatGPT and I are like, it knows me pretty well.
best
As
friends.
it
And
knows
so
me. It knows. It
Kevin,
knows I'm
you've
on
been
Lockpod.
replaced.
I have a different voice on Lockpod. It knows I'm a
It was
mayor.
going to happen at
I have
some
a
point.
different voice as mayor. It knows all kinds of things about me. It knows about my health.
That freaks me out so freaking much.
And so your
This is why I'm
your
doing
AI
this.
of choice is ChatGPT.
Yeah, I pay-
and you have the premium version.
I have the premium
All right.
version. So like it keeps your searches and it's like so anyway, I take the magnesium first night. I go to freaking
Without talking to your doctor.
Sunday. I did not talk to my doctor.
it's a
Nothing. I
supplement.
didn't call my.
I mean, supplements don't go through FDA regulation. You could take it. If you have too much of it in your body, you just get rid of it.
This is important, though. I did want to bring this up because this is important. Time we were talking through this segment, you mentioned something that I think is essential, and kudos to you for remembering. You asked specifically whether or not the magnesium you're about to take was a bad interaction with your
Right,
with the
and it
medication
wasn't, and it
you're on.
wasn't, so.
Yeah, so good to know.
So basically, and I know that we're digging in on this. I took it after one night, and my HRV improved 10%. My sleep was like 1,000 times better than it ever was before. I was just so amazed, and I fed my results into it the first night, and it like gives me like all this positive feedback. This is exactly what we were trying to do. I'm glad this is working for you. Continue to feed the results into me. I fed it in this morning. Same high HRV. Same everything's heading in the same direction. And I just like I sit back and I'm like I didn't even know what magnesium was or what it did, or like, in this whole conversation I had, through my medical devices, through ChatGPT, it leads me into this direction. And it just reminds me of something I said earlier in the season when I was talking to my doctor. My doctor said earlier this season when I was like, dude, I gave my blood test results to ChatGPT. This is what it said to me. My doctor said, Tom, in 15 years, you're not going to see doctors anymore. You're going to see nurses taking blood and stuff like that. The doctors are going to be computers.
Whoa.
And it like this whole experience I had with ChatGPT, telling me to take magnesium, just reminded me of that
So
conversation.
you're saying maybe we won't need doctors.
Yeah, man.
I was
think
thinking
we
about
will.
that earlier with our conversation before about how they're making it harder for those advanced degrees. I think it's because
That's
they put a
interesting.
lot of money into AI.
Wow.
And I think they're hoping to introduce AI into the medical field like this so that we
it's pretty
wouldn't
crazy.
have that many people who are going into the field.
It definitely, as I would imagine that AI improves and continues to get better and better. I mean, that's in quotes, I guess, better and better. I would think that it would be able to, we're having all these issues with like rural healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you could have like one doctor or one nurse that covers several counties and monitors this kind of stuff, maybe it could be a solution.
Right. Like, exactly. That's a great point.
I don't know. I mean, I watched Terminator. I am real freaking apprehensive about AI just in general, ChatGPT. If I were a teacher right now, I would probably have much stronger opinions about it because I know it's a pervasive issue for children who aren't learning to think for themselves, and they're using ChatGPT to help them
Get the answers.
the answers, but also like they're not learning how to be creative because
Or
they're
critical
using,
thinkers.
Yeah, using ChatGPT for things like that. It makes me real apprehensive, and I think that if that's their intent, if they want to introduce AI, why the medical field first?
Mm.
Because that seems to be kind of where things are moving right now. And it makes me real apprehensive because I just got here.
Well, hon, you're not. I think there's always going to be a need for nurses because
But you're
computer's
gonna
not
need
going to be able to
humans.
take my blood.
Yes.
Computer can't like help.
Not
Nurses
yet.
don't take your blood either.
But like, I mean, there's going to be human
Phlebotomists.
involvement. There's going to be a human involvement always.
I think there
because-
has to be. It's interesting. I was talking to one of my nieces, and she was saying that she works in New York City, and she was saying that there's been this push and this nervousness about jobs in New York because companies are cutting. They're saying, "Oh, we're just going to, kind of try to fill it with AI," and it's been backfiring. People have been hired back because they think they can. And maybe, I don't think we're there yet, So we'll see what happens, though.
All right. Well, good segment.
Real good.
I wanted to cover that.
Congratulations on your HRV improvement.
Thank you. But I thought it was, I think it's important because there's people listening to our show that are afraid of AI or they're afraid to interact or they don't even know what we're talking about right now. This is the new technology that you got to get used to and you got to like interact with. So
Let me ask you this question. Are you going to forward this information to your doctor?
yeah.
You are,
I will.
okay, to get
I
a
will.
kind of a...
Because my doctor is a technology geek also. So like when I showed him what it said to me about the blood test results, he was like, son of a... You could tell he's like, God damn, this is exactly what I was going to tell you. And then he was like, that's when he told me we're not even going to be doctors anymore. This thing's going to take
I
all
like
of
the
our job.
confirmation, though, from a
No, I
human.
agree. I agree.
I
I'm
like
going to
that,
send it
so.
to him, but I feel a lot better that Lindsey isn't shocked or scared about anything I'm taking.
I mean, I would prefer that if you were going to take something, I know that magnesium is over the counter, so it's not a big deal, but if you were going to, you didn't put in, did you tell ChatGPT anything about the medications you were already taking?
I did.
Okay.
It
Because sometimes like people don't think to do that.
I agree.
And then
Thank you for pointing that out.
there's going to be some medical, like some medications have
interaction.
contraindications and then suddenly you're in the hospital because you don't know who you are. So
Gotcha.
like make sure that if you are taking medications because ChatGPT told you to, please run it by somebody with an actual brain. That would be really nice.
Not an artificial brain.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do some ads, and then when we come back, we're going to cover some national issues, and then we're going to break for the holidays. So I want to say Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Agency, another one that's been with us from the get for decades. The Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestimer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and more. The Prestimer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. They even cover Lockpod. So, we do get
Sorry,
sued.
guys.
We do get sued every once
Or
in a while.
even if we
so
don't, it's good to have
it's
the
good to have
assurance that you have insurance.
Thank you. It's good to have the assurance that you have insurance. I like that. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Calumet Brewing. It's not about the miles you ran, the perfect score, or even the final victory. It's about the joy in the journey. The high fives after a friendly game, the feeling of accomplishment, the shared laughter. That's the moment worth toasting. With only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is the refreshing, crisp reward that makes the moment better. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Head over to the Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Tortilla Nueva Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nueva Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon's been with us from the beginning as well as Misprint Printing with us every single season Lockpod's been on.
Thanks, Rick.
That elevates your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com, or for tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to our friend and once-in-a-while co-host or pop-in host Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Thanks to our sponsors,
Including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
See you next season.
So there's been some crazy news this last week
Yeah.
that we want to cover, and not the least of which is this traditional visit of the New York City mayor-elect to the White House.
That's tradition.
Yes.
I did not
I didn't
know
know that either until I started catching up on this.
Okay.
When the biggest city in the country and one of the most important cities in the world elects their mayor,
I didn't go to the White House when I won.
I don't think the Hammond, Louisiana,
We should
or
start that.
Indiana.
I'm going to write him a
tradition-
letter. It's like, could I visit
Where's the
you?
tradition?
Freaking mayor, 6 terms. Get my ass over there.
I think this is about the size of New York, right? So
I haven't been to the White House once.
Well, you can.
I have been invited a couple times, but
I've been to the White House on a tour.
I wasn't invited personally. I was invited as a group. Like I would have been there with like a group of
Fun.
like 100 mayors. And
I would have
stuff.
gone in a heartbeat.
I know. I should have.
Yes.
I didn't. I had better things to do.
So we have Mayor-elect Mamdani,
Zoran.
Mamdani, right?
Zoran Mamdani.
Right, who the 34 years old, same age as you when you were elected.
Yeah.
And the president invited him, as is tradition, to the White House. Now, this is two folks that the president had called Zoran Mamdani communist. He had called him dumb. He had endorsed Cuomo. On the other hand, Mamdani had called the president a fascist and said, "Come get us if you want us. You're going to have to go through all of us," in his victory speech. So it was a little bit of a tense moment. And I think a lot of Republicans and maybe some Democrats were thinking, "Oh, this is going to be fireworks." And it was. And from the get-go, the President Trump kind of toned it down and said, there's been, because I was listening to a clip from Fox News and they were saying, "Oh, I bet you can't wait to get him in there," and blah, 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 basically. And he was like, "Hey, it was, I wasn't very fair to him on my side either," which I was kind of surprised that the president said. And sure enough, they show up, and the president says he would even finally feel comfortable moving back to New York with a 34-year-old Democratic socialist running City Hall. "I've been called much worse than a despot," Trump explained to a reporter who asked about the recent jab, one of many questions about their past disagreements, and that they shrugged off. "So it's not that insulting," the president said. So interesting about this. Even Mamdani said, I found out on the campaign trail, they're both from Queens, I guess, that, there were people that told me they voted for you and they're voting for me. So I think the president liked that. I think it was really interesting and really kind of like it became like a non-story, except for the fact that people had a lot of fun with J.D. Vance feeling left out because these guys had such a bro fest in
It's
the
funny
Oval
that
Office.
J.D. Vance just has to suddenly start loving Zoran Mamdani. Like, they hated him, and then Trump, and Zoran shake hands, and then suddenly J.D. Vance is like, he's a good guy. He's going to be a great mayor. It's just very fake.
Yeah, and so one of the questions that came from one of the reporters to Mamdani was, now you've called the president a fascist. Do you still believe that? And the president interrupted and said, you don't have to answer that. Just say yes. It's a lot easier than explaining.
I thought he said you could answer it. And
Or I
then
thought he
Mamdani
said
was
yes
just sort of
about
like,
it.
yes.
Right.
But he was embarrassed about it, you could tell.
And then J.D. Vance posts this on Twitter. POTUS, the President of the United States, has a lot of good moments, but this is an all-timer. Kind of like a lame post, and the internet just went crazy about it. Here's some trolling of the vice president.
He's got a happy face on with a person, a happy face mask on, and behind the happy face mask is a person that's just crying his eyes out. That's accurate. Then they got Kermit the Frog looking through a rainy window that's completely frosted, and he looks very sad also. And then you got
SpongeBob
and Patrick.
who are the
That's Squidward looking at SpongeBob and Patrick having fun outside his house,
Squidward just sitting there quietly.
looking
And
despondent.
then you got the meme, the meme where the couple's walking down the street holding hands, and then a hot girl walks by, and then the guy is turning around looking at the hot girl. So in this case, they got J.D. Vance with long hair looking like a woman, and you got Donald Trump as the guy that's turning around looking, and there's Zoran Mamdani walking by. So they did that traditional meme, and J.D. Vance looks really sad, like he's very offended.
Classic.
So,
yeah, so that's fun. So we'll see what happens with that. Another story that came out just yesterday afternoon is the dismissal by a federal court in two separate opinions of both James Comey's indictment and Letitia James.
That makes me feel good. That thank God we have federal court judges with lifetime tenure that aren't afraid of the president of the United States.
It makes you
that's
feel,
why we have lifetime tenure.
Whenever you hear that, Tom, that's such a good point, because whenever you hear like, oh, federal judges should have terms.
Yeah.
It's
a
times like
example.
this where you want your federal judges to be so insulated from politics.
So that they could just look at the law.
Yes.
And they looked at these indictments and they realized they were sham indictments, completely set up by the President of the United States and the Department of Justice. And it's very sad that the Department of Justice's credibility is being questioned by federal judges, but they are.
They call it a generational credibility issue.
It's the Department of Justice, my entire career up to Trump's second term, has been an organization beyond reproach. And now it's a political organization that's infiltrated by loyal Trump MAGA supporters.
I think that's I think that's part of the messaging and you can see it in this instance particularly, but there are obviously a lot of career attorneys in the U.S. Attorney's Office around the country that are still doing a great job. But but their bosses are MAGA. I think they've got to be afraid.
Beholden to the President of the United States. So, like, if you're one of those great prosecutors, your boss is a MAGA zealot
who is trying to say that there's no independence between the executive branch and the Justice Department, and that's the scary part.
Yeah.
So this is okay. A couple things about this opinion that I just wanted to bring up. This is about the appointments clause in the U.S. Constitution. I don't want to get too deep into that, but the real issue was about the appointment of that Trump loyalist, like you just said, that went in on her own, had never been a prosecutor, and got these indictments or tried to. And the court said you can't basically appoint somebody successively to the U.S. attorney's position. You can only have one in term. And so these were dismissed without prejudice, meaning that they can go back in and reindict, but they have to do it correctly. And there's a whole issue of whether or not Comey's indictment, which came down 5 days before the statute of limitations, if they can reindict in a new grand jury. So
Gotcha.
A little technical, but it was just interesting news. And if you're into the law and you're a geek like that, read the opinion.
So the bottom line is the indictment against Letitia James. Mm-hmm. She was where's she?
Morgan.
Atlanta.
They were both
the prosecutor in Fulton County.
No, I think they were. No, she's the New York Attorney General.
New York Attorney General. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And she did the civil suit. Okay.
Yep.
And then James Comey. We all know James Comey,
former FBI director.
Right. So those indictments are
dismissed for now.
Good. MTG. We've followed her multiple times on Lock Pod. She's always been a loyal Trump MAGA supporter. That seems to have changed, Kevin.
Big time. I mean, it was one thing for her to kind of like be vocal online about like how she felt about being attacked by the president. I didn't see her resignation coming.
So she resigned from Congress, which confirms everything you know.
And by the
already.
way, midterm, like not even.
Well,
she's
there's a lot of Republicans in Congress that are resigning now. You know why?
They know they're going to lose.
They
know they're going to lose the.
They're going to go next year. they're going to lose. And if they don't lose, they're going to be in the minority, and they're going to be sitting there defending Donald Trump against impeachment in the next term. And you're going to have to defend this.
I don't understand why that's a big issue for them. They did that last time.
But, like,
Maybe they
Donald
don't wanna
Trump's
do it
such
this
a
time.
monster this time. Like, they're going to find just nasty shit. He's going to be in the Epstein files. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that comes out the next term when the Democrats take control again. And if you're in the minority in the House or in the Senate Republican caucus, you're going to have to defend this piece of crap president we have against impeachment. And it's going to make you look horrible.
Yeah,
And she didn't want to be part of it.
I thought some of the things she said
Give
were
it
really interesting. She said this, and this is something that she has, she's been a steadfast proponent of the Epstein files, bringing them out. She said, standing up for American women who were raped at 14, trafficked, and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for. I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him and for America first, and he called me a traitor for standing with these women. Greene said it would not be fair to her Northwest Georgia district, one of the most conservative in the country, to have them, quote, endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president we all fought for, while noting that Republicans will likely lose the midterms. And
There you go.
it's crazy. And this is the other thing that Trump said about her. Because he quoted, he posted this: because of plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a primary challenger with a strong Trump endorsement where she would have no chance of winning, has decided to call it quits. Nevertheless, I will always appreciate Marjorie and thank her for her service to our country. I mean, that's great. What a fallout.
That's great.
I
This
wonder.
whole team, MAGA's falling apart, man.
It's definitely got a fissure right down the middle, right?
Yep.
It's faltering.
So we'll talk more about that in season 17 when we come back. I'm sure we're going to have a lot more stories to bring up, what's happening nationally. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more that develops in Indiana over the next, few weeks while we're not back on the air, but we will be back in early January. We appreciate everybody that's been with us from the get, the sponsors, our listeners. We couldn't do it without you. Chris, helping us out in the
Thank
studio
you.
very much. I appreciate that. Lindsey, another season under your belt, and get ready for another season coming up.
Or
We're-
will I?
We're going to be watching you grow,
Yes.
And then, of course, Kevin, you do so much for the show. You
All good.
providing our home, obviously, filling in, and doing everything along with me. I just want to say thanks to everybody.
Jill, John.
Jill,
sure.
of course, John Vez. We're thinking about you. Jill, thank you very much for what you do. It's a team effort, and we're
Steve.
glad to be part of it. Of course, Steve, so, this is it for the season. We appreciate you all. This is a funny song. It's worth sticking around for another minute or so.
Awesome song.
It's Jesse Wells performing Join Ice. It's a folk song in 2025. It's a pretty damn funny song, and it's pretty accurate. It's one of those things I think that 20 years from now, people are going to know this song. It's
Kind of had like a Bob Dylan / John Prine
Yeah.
storytelling folk song.
and it like encapsulates the moment
Without a
really
doubt.
well. So we are going to be back in January. We appreciate you all. Stick with us. Listen to this song, and we will see you in January. Happy holidays to everybody. Thanks for listening to Lock Pod. We'll see you in early January for season 17. In the meantime, enjoy Jesse Wells. Take care, everybody. Lock Pod's out.